today, when the victory came from both sides, the believers were what? They were joyous. Indirectly defeated during what? The battle of what? The battle of Uhud. And the reason for this is وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ, because Allah is mighty and He is what? He is merciful. Now let us quickly go back to Him. Now, you mentioned here the recurrent name that has been mentioned in this, and they are the Romans. Who are the Romans? People can feel in his Tafsir, rahmatullah, he explained the Romans. The Romans, they are descendants of alaykum, Bun Ishaq, Bun Ibrahim. Ain Turks is also one of the sons of North. And these Romans, they worship planets. According to Evening Tafseer, it says that they worship what? Planets. And they normally pray facing the North Pole. They follow they face the North Pole, and they were founded in Damascus. They were in Damascus. That is in around Syria, in Sham. That is where they were established there. And the Romans, they follow the religion of what? Of Greek mythology for a period of what? A period of about 300 years. A period of about 300 years. That is when they follow this religion. Until the time when they accepted Christianity. And I will still come to that, how they accepted Christianity. And the king who ruled the Syria then, during this time, is Caesar. They call it Caesar in Arabic. And the first of them to enter the Christian religion, the first of them, of the king of Romans, to become Christian is Constantine. Is who? Constantine. And the Constantine is the son of Costas. But Costas, you will understand certain things that happen to Christianity here. You know, by this time then, they were Christian during the time of Jesus Christ. There is no disciple of Christianity forever like that. Now, we have some Jews during the time of Jesus Christ. But the Romans, they were not Christian then. They were worshiping planets like that. And they did that for almost 300 years. Not until when Constantine becomes what? When he became a Christian. And when he became Christian, it was as a result of her mother. Her mother happens to be from the Bani Israel, those who have became what? Became a Christian. And her name is Maryam al-Hilaliya. Maryam al-Hilaliya. That is the name of the mother of who? Constantine. And she came from the town called Haran. Haran is in Persia. And who knows the person that comes from Haran? Haran also, among our scholars. Ibn Taymiyyah is from Haran also. Then the mother of Constantine has become a Christian before him. So he invited her. He invited him to Christianity. And before that time, the Constantine has become, he was a philosopher. Al-Kalam. He was a philosopher, and he doesn't actually follow any religion per se, but he has a kind of an inclination towards what his mother believes in. And when he became Christian, there was a time, there happens to be one of the Christians, Abdullah ibn Arius, and they call it Saint Arius. And ibn Arius happens to be one of the Christian scholar. And there was some romance. They came to have a debate with Abdullah ibn Arius. Abdullah ibn Arius happened to be a figurehead with regard to Christianity. And the Romans now, that majorly they were philosophers, the Greek, like Aristotle, like Socrates, like Plato, they were just philosophers. And many of these people followed the religion of these Aristotle, Socrates, and all the rest. And they were what? They worship planets. Like that. You will understand the connection, just a little very well. You understand the connection. The Christianity, you understand. Now, when they now had a kind of some debates, when they had the debates, and they had a gathering of almost about 318 bishops. That they have a kind of a debate like that. And they now reached an agreement with who? With the Romans. That, okay, this is an agreement, and that things happened in Nicaea in a 325 Christian era. And that's what referred to as the Council of Nicaea. And this is a very great disaster that happened to Christianity. There, they now decided that, oh, you this bishop and what? And like Arius, everything sit down. If you want we Romans to be part of you, there are some laws in your book, so they are not going to follow. We'll be eating pork. And most of the things that you said, it is halal, it is haram, we are not going to listen to that. Then there will be a kind of a fusion between some of our beliefs and your own beliefs. Therefore, the belief of Janus, we said that they believe in what? They worship what? Planets. They bring Janus, the god of two faiths. They brought it into what? That we are going to have this one, we believe in this one. Therefore, that's a general concept. They put it there. Like that. Many other things, they put it there and they pack it. And Constantine now became what? He becomes the king. And he builds there are many things that they introduced there. They introduced the festival of the cross. They started worshiping cross. Baptism, Palm Sunday, Easter, New Year, all those things that they were part of their religion before. They brought that if you want us to join you, we are going to do a kind of what? A compromise. We put everything together, then it becomes what? State religion. Like the Meccan told Muhammad, let us share it. We worship Allah for 1 year, and we also worship Allah, and we worship our gods for 1 year, and we move back to your God. And Allah repeat, which one? Ul-Ya La-Abud. Now, you see, but they do not have the opportunity of being receiving a revelation that will caution them. Therefore, they accepted that. And The king built churches and places of worship for them. People can say that it is more than 12,000 churches that Constantinople built for them, and several others were built for them. And thereafter, some other people comes there, and it continues like that until the time when Heraclius came to power. You understand? When Heraclius came to power, the Council of Nicaea happened in 325 era. And when the Persian defeated Rome, it was what, 615 Abi? Which means around 300 years later, Heraclius becomes what? The king. And it was that time that the Roman defeated the Roman. And the Persian defeated the Roman. And thereafter, Heraclius gathered some words, some troops again, and they defeated the Persian. And the Persian were Sorosians, the fire worshippers. Now, you can now really understand the kind of the connection now, how the Romans becomes what? Al-Qur'an. How the Romans how they become Al-Qur'an. Because of what? Who can tell us? How did they become the Al-Qur'an? When Constantine becomes what? When he became a Christian through his mother, and he now made what? He made Christianity to be a state religion. But at that time, it was even the adulterated Christianity. But they still have what? They still have some link with Allah. We still have some link with revealed Jehovah. Even if those groups has already been adulterated, that will still refer to them as Al-Qur'an. Now, let us quickly look at, I still want to go back. Let us look at Sheikh Uthaymeen in his tafsir. He says that قال المفسر رحمه الله, the Mufassirun, the commentators, they said غُلِبَتِ الرُّومُ. They said غُلِبَتِ الرُّومُ, the rooms were defeated. I'm just going through what I said the other time. That they were al-Qur'an, because these Romans, they were al-Qur'an, the people of. Who are those people who defeated them? They defeated them, and this part they were not what? The Persians, they were not al-Qur'an, but they are Abuduna and Al-Qur'an. They worship what? They worship idols. They worship idol. The kuffar of Mecca, they were so happy with that. Something like that. وَقَالُوا لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ, they now tell, they inform the Muslims, the kuffar of Mecca, they said that نَحْنُ نَغْلِبُكُمْ كَمَا غَلَبَتْ فَارِسْ الرُّومَ. We will soon defeat you as the Persian defeated Rome. Do you now see the connections now? They say, okay, they're going to what you defeated. I know what you do. I know what to do too. Now, we have explained that Arum, the Al-Kitab, and this Al-Kitab, Yashmalu al-Yahud wal-Nasar. Among the Romans, we have some now, also, like I said the other time, they said the kuffar of Mecca, they were happy when this thing happened to them, and they thought that they would defeat the Muslims as the Persian defeated Who? The Romans. And when you say that behind the outbreak, I've explained what it means in the nearby vicinity where the Paris, the Persian dominated, and the altercation, the war occurred within this particular vicinity around that area. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Min ba'di ghalabihim wa na'adhibu al-masadir ila al-maf'ul," ay ghalabat al-Faris iyyahu. Ghalabat al-Farisa iyyahu. That is, the Paris will be defeated as well by who? By the Romans also. Now, and after they have already been defeated, they are still going to be victorious. Who? The Romans. They were still going to be victorious there. Are you following? I'm just looking at what Sheikh Hussein explained here. Now, and once they were defeated, he said, that is in a period of what? 3 to what? 9 years. And it happens as it has been predicted. And scholar says that this is one of the ideas of the Quran. Because in the Quran, he foretells what will happen in the future. This is one of the ideas of the Quran, the miracle of the Quran. Because we are told that this will definitely happen. In what? In the future. And it happened. And when it happens during the time that Muslims also, they do what? They defeated the Kuffar of Mecca, and at that time, Heraclius and his troop, who they were Romans, and they were armed with they defeated what? Persian, and the Persians were Zoroastrianists, those who worship what? Fire. Who among the companions of Prophet Asalamu came from that tribe? Salman and Faris. Now, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the Muslims, Yaqrahu, the Mu'minun, the believers, they are what? They were happy. Binasrillah, they were happy with what? They are happy with the start of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah has you they become what? Al-Muta. Like that. From Constantine to what? To Heraclius, where this is the apple. Now, let us now look at the reflections now. Number 1, what should be our relationship with Al-Muta? And who are they? What should be our relationship with Al-Muta? Because when something happened to them, the Muslims were what? Shows them sympathy. Because they were what? Al-Muta. But how are we going to relate with them? How are we going to relate with them? 2 ways. One. The Al-Muta, they were kuffar. They were kuffar. But their kufru is not as what? You call it strong, right? What you can do? Intense. Can you have a book? It's not as is it sophisticated? Eh? Okay. Any identity you want to put it like that of what? Our Oshebo. It is erroneous for somebody to say that every money is beauty. You understand? They were kufar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Suratul Rum, when I was talking about kuntu khayra ummah, like that, Allah says that walau amana ahlul kitab lakana what? Lakana khayra lahum. You see, Allah says that had the people of the books believed, it would have been better for them. And that's Abbas, in that sense that the reason why they were not what? Believers is because they don't believe in the oneness of Allah and the messengership of Muhammad. But they have a connection with us because we still talk about what? We talk about God, we talk about some prophets together, though their own narration will be a little bit or more different from ours, but we still have some convergence. Qul ta'alaw atlu. No, that's not what I want to use. Yeah, that's it. Ila kalimatin sawa'un bainana wa bainakum. Who remember that? Somebody should assist you with that ayah. Now, Qul ta'alaw. No, not. Qul. Now that all the Ahlul Kitab, Qul ta'ala ila kalimatin sawa'un bainana wa bainakum. Let us call them towards what we have to share in common. What we share in common is that Allah ta'budu, that you are not going to worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We still have something like that in common. Though nowadays we find it difficult to even believe what they are worshiping. They have removed God from everything. You know, before they say Oluwa Sheun, no. What do they call it now? Yes. They remove it at all. God is not part of their own something. And that's why it's very difficult for me to actually maybe believe that do they believe in God? Now, everything is about Jesus now. Everything is about Jesus. And I asked one of them that if Jesus should come to this earth now, and say Jesus, he will not listen to you. Because there is nothing like Jesus. You understand? It's like my name is MUSA. Somebody might say Moses. I will not believe in you. You don't change the name. You understand? You don't change the name. They have Latinized the name. It has undergone different words, different activation until Isa become Jesus. Then they now say that they now put J, it becomes Jesus. Then Yoruba cannot say Jesus. They just put S, they call it Jesus. And they call Jesus. Because who is that? If you remove J from there, it becomes what? Now, that is it. Therefore, the kind of the problem that we have, that do we really worship, it is the same God. You don't worship Allah conjunction, but we have the kind of what? Some intersection. Therefore, the Ahlul Kitab, we still believe that they are not believers. And we are not shy from that fact. And it is not a kind of an abuse. It's just a classification. You know, it's not a classification in sense. When you put everything together in what? In human sense, they share the same words, the same attributes. Anyone that doesn't share the same attributes will be what? And it becomes what? Is it compliment? We are not talking about this universal here. The human is there. That one is just outside there. Now, in that case, when you say that somebody is a believer from our own parents, we are referring to what? Believe in what? And what? Therefore, anybody who wants to be a believer in our own context must what? Believe in truth. You understand? Therefore, if you want to belong to that classification, what you need to do is that have that attributes. Once you don't have the attributes, you don't belong to that classification. It's just like saying that I'm a Yoruba man. Is it an abuse? Am I not? I'm a Yoruba man. I share the attributes of a Yoruba man. Fine. Therefore, to the Christianity, now a believer to Christianity is that he must believe that Jesus Christ is what? Lord and what? Do you believe that? Then you are what? You are what? You are a disbeliever. And if you want to translate it to Arabic, you are a Catholic. Is there any problem? Sofaja. If you don't want to insist that you are a believer to a Christian, you believe in that in the condition of becoming do you believe? No. And it is only those who believe in that will enter their paradise. Who? Their paradise looks like what? Like a zoological garden. Now, and when you tell me, therefore, I don't want to enter that paradise. Because I don't believe in what? In the condition that will take me to that zoological garden. Therefore, our own agenda that has been described in the Quran is quite different from their own words, their own paradise. And the condition for entering that agenda is different from what they believe. If I say that wow, Jahannam, to the quality of our Jahannam, will possess yet. That's like one hour in now, I live, whatever. But I'm letting you say. Do you understand? The Sese people, they will call you Ogbeni. We are all one Ogbeni. Ogbeni, I don't believe in all these fetish things that you are. You see, there is not any problem at all. And that is what the perfect religious understanding and respect. If you now want to enter agenda that Allah described in the Quran, they will enter there and they will not want. They will not want to leave. They will not want to leave there. If you want to enter them, then do what? Two things you now want to do. And what is the iman that we are referring to? And what? And there's no way you want to believe in oneness of Allah that will not believe in Quran. There's no way you want to believe in Muhammad that will not believe in the statement. That's warahmatullah. Abi? Warahmatullah. So these are the what? These are the content of that belief. You see? There's no any problem at all. There's no any problem. I used to tell people that during the time of Muhammad, there were Christians, there were Jews in Medina. And that was something that also allowed to recite and also continue to recite that one. And continue to recite what? Even Ledina, Kabarumin, Al-Kitab, wal Mushrikina, Mufatina, Binan Jihadam. They continue to recite Suratul Rum. And they never taught anything. And they were doing their own worship. Even the mosque was marketed for them to do their what? To do their Sunday mass. Therefore, what should be our relationship with Al-Kitab? One, there should be a demarcation of belief. This is your belief. This is my belief. That is one. Number two is that you are not going to do back to them. You are going to show what? You are going to show good character to them. In as much that they don't do what? They don't do any bad to you. La warahmatullah. Alladhina lam yuqatilukum fid-din wa lam yukhrijukum min diyarikum an tabarruhum ilayhi wa tuqsitu ilayhi. Inna Allaha yuhibbul muqsitin. In fact, that is it. Allah says that Allah has not prevented you from being what? Allah used being rude. And where else does Allah use that? That being rude to our what? To our parents. Therefore, the way Allah wants you to do to your parents That is what Allah is referring to in that ayah. La yanhakumullahu 'anil ladhina lam yuqatilukum fid-din wa lam yukhrijukum min diyarikum an tabarru. Ẹ máa ṣe dáadáa sí àwọn èèyàn tí mo gbógun tì yín níbi ẹ̀sìn yín, wọn ò sì gbógun lé yín jáde kúrò nínú ilé yín, ẹ kúrò wọn sí kí ni o dáadáa bírù sí wọn. This is how we are going to relate to that later. Number one, demarcation in our words, in our religion. Ó sọ wọn lórúkọ, ọlọ́ọ̀lọ́ kì, gbógun jẹ fún ọ sí kí ni o. Wọ́n jẹ, wọ́n wá ní àwọn ṣe ìjọsìn ní ilé ìjọsìn wọn bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣé wàá bá wọn wá bẹ̀? Wọ́n gbà ilé ilé lọ, wọ́n á ní ẹjẹ́ ká gbàdúrà kí ó kálù kó sí ìlà rẹ̀. Wọ́n lọ́wọ́ nítorí òbí ẹ̀sìn àwọn oníyẹ kó ní láti lọ. They will have understood that when it comes to issue of religion, there is what? But ká ṣe dáadáa sí wọn. Christian tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ilé rẹ̀. Wọ́n ní pé ọ̀dà yẹn pé wọ́n dá lóúnjẹ láti di ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Wọ́n sì lóúnjẹ lórí kí wọ́n á ṣe. Lọ fún lóúnjẹ. Fún lóúnjẹ. Ọwọ́ àgbàrá kí ló ní kọ́mọ yóò lọ sí skul ni. Wọ́n lè fún owó skul. Jesus ò lè tí ì pèsè. Ẹ̀kọ́ ẹgbẹ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ fún. Èló lọ́wọ́ yẹn. Òun náà ní 10,000 naira ní ọ̀dà. Joseph wà wá sí wà fún 10,000 naira ní ẹ̀rọ sọ. Ọlọ́run máa ń ṣe dáadáa fún yín o, Jésù àgbà ẹ̀ wá àtúpá ní tiẹ̀. Ó ti lé kí ni o, ó ti fún yín ó ṣe dáadáa sọ. Ibẹ̀ náà yóò máa ṣe dáadáa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mójú tó bí dáadáa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mójú tó bí. Báwo ni wàá rí ṣe sí kúlé? Ibẹ̀ it is that to everybody. Humanity ni humanity. Imam Nawawi nínú rahimahullah nígbà tí wọ́n ṣàlàyé àyà ń explain àdìsí làyò ọ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó lè túmọ̀ sí kí ni áhù fìdí wà áhù fi what? Be inside. That is alaykum. That is in humanity. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà yóò ṣe dáadáa sí gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀. Àgbẹ̀kùn bára àfa àgbà. Ìkànnì náà àwọn kìíní o àfa Imam Malik. Imam Bukhari. Àgbẹ̀kùn bára. Ọlọ́run pèsè owó bàbá mi bára. Àgbẹ̀kùn bára. Ọlọ́run ó fún ní owó ọlọ́run bá sì fún ní mọ̀. Màá advice wa ká lọ ka ìka Àgbẹ̀kùn bára. There was time that I did a full lecture on the story of Àgbẹ̀kùn bára. Ẹni rí ọlọ́run ti wá lẹ́nu rí. Fún àǹfààní wa, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ tọ́rọ̀ bá ti ṣe lẹ́nu rí gan tó ti wá. Ẹ̀rọ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ẹ tó dé bàbá Àgbẹ̀kùn bára. Àlùbáà gangan tó dé bàbá rẹ̀. Ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ nínú gáàdì kan. Gáàdì yẹn wọ́n gbin hápù nínú gáàdì yẹn. Wọ́n wá jẹ́ bí ọmọ ọ̀dọ́ tó máa bá wọn sa hápù tó bá ti já sílẹ̀ nínú gáàdì yẹn. Ọwọ́ àdìjọ́ kan ẹ tó wá jẹ́ kí ni o, ẹ tó wá jẹ́ kí ṣé ìlú rẹ̀ tó jẹ́ bí máṣá rẹ̀. Ọwọ́ á ní pé òun fẹ́ ápù tó níbi mílíkì tẹ̀lé ẹ̀ má ti di ápù dàbí royal gala. Ọmọ dàbí ẹ̀kọ́ níbi mílíkì báyìí lẹ́nu. Very very delicious. Ó wà ní ẹ̀dá. Wọ́n ní kọ́ bá ń wá ápù tó rí báyìí wá síbẹ̀ yẹn náà. Mùbáyà kan sọ wípé tó wọ́n mọ́ ápù tó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ níbẹ̀ yẹn náà. Wọ́n lè ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ for many years. Ọwọ́ àjẹ́ ọlọ́ ẹni ẹlọ́run bá ìgbẹ́ni kò tí ì tẹ́sì ẹni àwọn kẹ́rẹ́ pé irú èmi àti ẹni ní ó ti mọ ibi tó ní ó ti mọ ibi tí a pè é sí kí o. Ọ̀dà tó ní pé ó ti ṣe kí ni ó ti mọ tẹ́sì ẹ̀ ọwọ́ á bí ìpè ẹni ẹ̀rẹ́ ti ṣiṣẹ́ bẹ̀ for almost 10 years. Tó bá ti kó o bá kù yẹ yóò sì lọ kó polówó ẹ̀ kò mú ẹni kankan bọ́ lọ́wọ́ yẹn ti ròyìn pé bẹ́yà ó ń tèsì wọ́n wá ní pé òun fẹ́ ẹni tó dáa gan tí ó fẹ́ ọmọ òun lójú olóòótọ́ wọ́n wá sọ fún kí ni wọ́n á sọ fún ìyàwó rẹ̀ òun ti rí ẹni tí ó fẹ́ kí ni o tí ó fẹ́ ọmọ òun wọ́n ní ká lẹ ní ẹ̀wọ́n ọ̀nà ẹ̀mí àlùbárà ọmọ yẹn tó wá bí yẹ màdàmọ́ méjì bá fẹ́ra wọn ọmọ yẹn wá ní kí ni o ọ̀nà ẹ̀mí àlùbárà ọlọ́wà fi ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ kí ni o ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àlùbáríkà sí. Abẹ́kùn Barak ní ọjọ́ kan ó rí àwọn méjì kan wọ́n lọ láàrin ọjà ó wá rí ẹnìkan tó ń ṣe ìkéde ẹnìyẹn sọ̀rọ̀ ẹnìkan ẹgbẹ̀rún ó sọ̀rọ̀ fún lórí 30 minutes wọ́n wá sọ fún ẹ̀ pé mo mọ̀ lẹ́nu bíìsì òun ẹ̀tọ́ sọ yẹ kí ló dé láì kó ìbọ̀dì ẹ̀rẹ́ ní kẹ́kẹ́ káṣá ó sì di bíìsì òun ẹ̀rẹ́ yẹn lọ 30 minutes. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà àwọn ìwé ẹni báyìí gbogbo ọmọ sí kí ni o kọ́mọ̀ kọ́kọ́ lẹ́sìn àbáyọ wa lọ sí ní o. Now Abẹ́kùn Barak àkàgbà ni bí kẹ́kẹ́ fẹ́ nílò ń bẹ̀ gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó lọ bí ní pé ó wá ní neighbor kan Júù ni ó ní neighbor kan Júù ni neighbor yẹn wá gbé ní reason kan láti lówó ó ní ìlówó ó wá fẹ́ ta ilé rẹ̀ tó wà ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ ilé Abẹ́kùn Barak ó wá ní òun fẹ́ ta ilé yẹn ní 2,000 dirham ó wá ní 1,000 dirham ó ní owó ilé yẹn another 1,000 dirham ó ní ìgbé ọjẹ́ neighbor Abẹ́kùn Barak kò tí yé wa. He is selling the neighborliness of what? Of Abẹ́kùn Barak. Abẹ́kùn Barak wá gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Dọ́kítà ọba fún mi 2,000 dirham ní ẹjọ́ o. Kí ló dé tó fẹ́ fún mi ta the neighborliness Abẹ́kùn Barak? Bẹ́ẹ̀ bí wọ́n bẹ̀ káàkiri pọ̀ torí pé kò inú òògùn láti kúrò níbẹ̀ yẹn torí pé ní bùkátà sí owó ló fẹ́ fi kúrò níbẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n ní pé jọ ní tó káyé yìí náà wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ti ga kí la gbé o Júù ni o kí la gbé o lára mùsùlùmí àfá àgbà ni o tó jẹ́ pé kí ni o tó jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ ìkan nínú àwọn àfá ṣe ṣìyókù mọ̀mọ́ ìmọ̀mù kwari ìyàrá ẹ̀ ṣé èyí àtẹ̀yìn kìí ṣẹ́jẹ́ ni yóò tẹ̀lé bínú kó mẹ́lá wọ́n lè gbọ́ gbóṣẹ́ papọ̀ torí pé ènìyàn ẹ̀mọ̀dẹ̀ ni ọ́ dísàkíwà tẹ́ pé yóò tún sọ pé wo mi ò lè kò lójú o wèrè ní ohun pé mo sán lórí gan o mo sán lórí gan o tó bá lè wá cross mi báyìí wá cross bank mi màá gbé náà màá ṣe ń jẹ fún ẹ o àbí ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa gbé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ẹ̀ máa gbé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣẹlẹ̀ tí a rò nínú rẹ̀ ẹ̀ máa wúrọ̀ àwọn ọ̀gá ẹ̀ yàtọ̀ nígbà tí kúrò náà wípé kí ni reflection ẹ̀ ká rí rẹ̀ ó ní wípé ẹ wo bí àwọn mùsùlùmí ṣe banújẹ́ nígbà tí wọ́n gbọ́ pé aburú ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àwọn kí ni àwọn ọ̀hún empathy that's why ọwọ́ aládùúgbò ní sọ wá gbọ́ ikú ní ẹnìkan ẹjọ́ ń gbé wọn ní accident àbí nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn ní kàkọ́ ló mú ọ náà ní kébé náà dínkù ẹyọkan dínkù lórí ẹ náà nìyẹn don't say that don't say that aláàfin àríkà tó ń gbé òkú àwọn kí ni o òkú ẹgbẹ́ ìṣe mùsùlùmí òkú tí a lè ṣe alóbi dìde láti respect kí ni o ẹ̀mí yẹn sábà yẹn yíyọ wà dáadáa ẹ̀wọ̀n nǹkan kìí ṣe wípé aṣọ pípé kí ni wọn o pé mùsùlùmí wọn ṣùgbọ́n tí dáadáa bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn ẹ bá wọn yọ tó wá sì kù díẹ̀ káàkiri kí ni o ẹ bá wọn kẹ́nu your classmates ọgbà ló lórí first class inú rẹ̀ wá bàjẹ́ tí o lórí kọ́mọ́dé first class bá dúnú your classmates wọ́n rẹ̀ sí pé dábìẹ̀ kú o lè ní bẹ́ẹ̀ dúnú náà wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọkún tó ti tán fún báyìí kò sí ẹ̀ka kí lẹ́yìn kó ṣe kọ́nsóòlẹ̀ pé don't worry iye náà wá fún mi láti lé díẹ̀ máa wọ́n fún ẹ̀ Adó lè ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́wọ́ sókè. Iye tí ó bá tó lè tó sọ yẹ ní táìmù yẹ, ó ti ṣe kí ni o lè kí lọ́kàn báyìí. Ọlọ́pàá ó sì ṣe kí ni o, ọlọ́pàá máa tó ẹ̀. Lórí ẹ̀, kọ́lá ò lè sọ ní ẹgbẹ́ pé ẹ̀ta ló ń gbé jáde ṣaláìsì. Kò lè sọ́dọ̀ ní, dáìbì ẹni sọ ẹgbẹ́ kí ni o, don't worry. Báwo wọn máa háàjì mọ́ ọdún náà máa fọ́ wà lọ́ọ̀dì ọlọ́pàá máa sọ lẹ́sẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀ regardless of whoever tó ṣe fún nítorí pé at that time yẹ nǹkan tó ṣe yẹ kí ni o ìdùnnú ní fún torí ìdùnnú ní fún ní àsìkò yìí ẹnìkan kọjá lọ níwájú ìta rẹ̀ kò fi ẹni ìsìtì ọwọ́ sí ẹtì ó ti ṣó pé kí ni o àwọn ẹ̀sùn lọ́wọ́ ní ibi ń pa òun ohun tí wọ́n lè dé ọwọ́ ní iṣẹ́ ìmọ̀ràn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ìmọ̀ràn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì nìkan àtọ́lájọ́ lábẹ́ ṣe nìkan kí lẹ́yìn kó ṣe nǹkan tó bá lágbára ó ní kí ni o kó fún ibẹ̀ ìgbà nǹkan tó bá lágbára kó fún èmi tí wọ́n wípé ẹ̀sẹ̀ àjáde àwọn kìsẹ̀ àwọn ìrìnra wọn lọ́wọ́ ìrìnra wọn lọ́wọ́ ibẹ̀ ìyàwó kan máa ń gbà wà ìrìnra wọn lọ́wọ́ ibẹ̀ ìlà àwọn mùsùlùmí la ní alójú àná ibẹ̀ ìlà ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀rọ wò I have several examples like that ẹkùn ìrìnra wọn lọ́wọ́ mo lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé iye tó bá tó fún yẹn ló gbà mẹ́ wọ́n sọ kéèsì kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ kọ́lọ̀ máa pa àṣẹ dáadáa fún bàbá ẹsẹ̀ kọ́lá bàbá máa ń náwó gan kọ́lọ̀ máa pa àṣẹ dáadáa bàbá kọ́lọ̀ máa fún ọ̀nà pẹ̀lú wọ́n ní ẹnìkan ó ní pọ́blẹ́mù kan máa sọ̀rọ̀ bàbá wọ́n á ní ìdòwò bàbá wá ní pé kò sì sí káàṣì nílé ẹ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí lọ́sọ̀ ò kò sí káàṣì nílé ṣùgbọ́n brọ́dà yìí kọ́ lọ sí báńkì kọ́ lọ bá wọn gba káàṣì wà kọ́ wà ní fún ìgbà ẹ̀kọ́ tí sí transfer gbogbo ẹ̀yà tí wá jáde tó lọ sí báńkì tó lọ gbowó wọ́n bá gbowó kan wá bá fún bàbá bàbá yẹn bá kó jẹ́ ìdílé abẹ́ wọ́n bá gbowó wọ́n lówó yẹn lè gbowó tó lówó kọ wọ́n bá fún léèdì àti ìyá rẹ̀ wá bá bàbá kọ́ wá lọ. gbàtọ́ wá lọ wọ́n wá pàdé bọ́dà tó lọ gbowó báńkì yẹn wọ́n wá pàdé ìyá yẹn àti ọmọ yẹn ní báńkì tí wọ́n ti kẹ́ ní owó ẹ̀dẹ́ ni wọ́n á gbàgbọ́ wọn ní kílára pé àwọn aṣọ ìdámẹ́wàá ní owó ìsí ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì tí wọ́n fi báńkì àkáǹtì àwọn báńkì àkáǹtì kí ni o ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì wọ́n á sọ ìdámẹ́wàá owó yẹ sí kí ni o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ẹgbẹ́ gbówó ẹ̀kọ́ kúrì kan ìwọ́ tí ìyá ló jọ débi ìṣẹ́ àìsàn ni ọmọ ẹ̀rọ gbogbo ìwò ó tún wá fẹ́ lọ yọ 10% owó yìí ó fẹ́ lọ sẹ́sẹ́ àkáǹtì ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ní wàhálà mẹ́rin tọ́ kí la fẹ́ jáde bí náà ní pé òun náà ní pé kíláàsì lọ sí dáadáa sí kìíní reflection tàbí níbi eléyìí yẹn tọ́ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì torí time àmọ́ sí ní kánmọ́kánmọ́ báyìí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ lórí ilé ìgbẹ́ tí mo máa wà ayé àkọ́rọ́ ní wàtàdí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì òun náà ní pé àwọn alùpìtà wọ́n súnmọ́ wa ju àwọn ọ̀ṣẹ́ bọ́lọ́ tó yíwa wọ́n súnmọ́ wa ju àwọn ọ̀ṣẹ́ bọ́lọ́ and it's always in here because there is a what some intersections one way or the other then ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta àmọ̀sẹ̀ ní sókè ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta ni pé ọlọ́ọ̀bá ọmọ fún Allah gives victory to whom he wishes tẹ̀wọ́n ni wáyà yẹn náà ipe ọlọ́ọ̀bá kí ni wàyà sórú lọ́yẹ̀ àṣà ọlọ́ọ̀bá rẹ̀ ní tó bá wù lọ́wọ́ níbi ilé ìgbà and for the fact that Roman was defeated is not the sign that the supremacy of Allah is removed ẹjẹ́ bá wù lẹ́yìn náà kò bí ìfà àwọn ọmọ ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ti lọ defeat àwọn kìíní yẹn and when the Roman defeated the Persian it doesn't mean that the supremacy of Allah is now restored gẹ́gẹ́ torí wípé ọlọ́pàá bẹ́ẹ̀ ti sọ síwájú wípé lillahi al-amru min qabli wa min ba'd tọ́ mọ̀kànlẹ́ káwọn ṣe ní ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹrin nínú àwọn ọ̀gá tí a gbọ́dọ̀ ìgbọ́ bẹ̀ ká tó kò lórí ilé yìí ó ní wípé ẹlẹ́ẹ̀dì defeat or victory méjèèjì ẹ̀ náà ó tún ní ṣe pẹ̀lú kí ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú bọ́nà máa ṣe fẹ́ ó tún ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìgbìyànjú oníkálukú gẹ́gẹ́ agbọ́dọ̀ lẹ́mọ ilé yìí ẹnìkan pass exam ẹnìkan fail exam ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú kí ni ó tún ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìgbìyànjú oníkálukú náà ní ilẹ̀ náà tó yẹ wọ́n báyìí ọlọ́pàá tó wá fi alaykum ní ibẹ̀. Then ẹlẹ́kẹ̀rin nínú àwọn kàkàbúlọ̀ sí that is the reflections before the reflection. Ó ní pé káwá sọ pé nǹkan tí ẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí olùdókòwò àgbòdòdó gẹ́gẹ́ bó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn fídíò alùpùpù àbí àwọn roman ni. Ẹ̀rọ kíkà lẹ́nu yẹn cannabis ni àbí is a test from Allah. And why I say this, you might go to the lobby to give you all about to pay, you might go, they are so clear. The follow us of my way, you know, Suratul Rum. I say 21. Ahsiban. Qulu amanna.
Fala ya'lamanna al-kadhibin.
Ọlọ́run sọ wípé ìjà àwọn èèyàn wọ́n rò wípé a fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ ní nígbà tó bá sọ wípé àwọn nígbà tó ń lọ ọlọ́wọ́ bá wà ń la ìtàlú nípa káàkiri ìdẹ̀wọ̀n wò torí pé kí n lo wàlà kọ́lé fàtà lẹ̀ bí ẹ̀rọ kọ̀mí àti ìdíyà àwọn tó ayé ìrẹ̀ báyìí lọ́bi làásì méjì láàyè. A rí ẹni tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n sún ẹsẹ̀ kí ni ó ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́kọ̀ rẹ̀ ní àbí. Tó tí ní bá wá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ìyàn ayẹ̀ ọlọ́run a ṣe yìí tó wù ní ọ́ tó bá dẹ́rù ìmù tó fi ń sàlẹ̀ jẹ́ ìyàwó tí ó jọ. Nítorí pé ara mi lè lọ́gbà dẹ́wò yẹn wọ́n lọ́rùn fi ń sàlẹ̀ jẹ́ náà wọ́n lè dẹ́rù ìwò àwọn lè dẹ́rù fi ń sàlẹ̀ jẹ́ náà. Kò lẹ́ tí ó bí ọ léèrè àbí kò lẹ́ tí ó bí ọ nípa ẹ̀kọ́ ọlọ́run dẹ́rù wò àtọ́nà bá lé ọ sáré wo tọ́nà bá lé ọ wá sí kíni wà sáré o tọ́nà bá sì tì ọ ó ṣubú o tó yẹ wa gbẹnu ọsọ yẹ o ládàáwò bá dé ládàáwò dé ẹ̀mọ́ká ọ̀kan wọ́n mọ̀ pé ní àwọn àjálù aláàtàlà ọbẹ̀ náà mẹ́ ní ìjà lòlùbàdà wọ́n lọ sọ́mi kúrò ní àwọn àjálù àjálù bú wọ́n ní ọmọ kú wọ́n fẹ́ lọ wà lọ́fi lọ sí wọ́n tó bọ̀ wọ́n tó láti dẹ́jà àwọn tó tóbi náà tó kú. Kí ni ó ṣe sílẹ̀? Wọ́n gbà látara mẹ́rin pé tí nǹkan tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn látara mẹ́rin pé tí nǹkan tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mùsùlùmí ọlọ́ọ̀bá wọn ti ń dán ìgbàgbọ́ ẹ̀ wò wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ìta pè ní tọ̀ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹrin yẹn tó yá sí. Òun náà ní pé hosùn ọ̀dọ́nù bìlẹ̀ kí o ní good opinion nípa ọlọ́run wa. Pé ọlọ́run ṣe dáadáa fún ṣe dáadáa àrùn ìjákà fún mi àwọn sọ pé ọlọ́run wa yóò kí ni o ọlọ́run bó mú wa. Torí pé àti wọ́n sáwọn mùsùlùmí pé wọ́n ti dìbí ti róòmù níbẹ̀ yẹ ọkàn wọn ti kí ni o wọ́n sọ gbẹ́. Àyẹ̀ àti àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́run padà ní kí ni o ọlọ́run padà jẹ́ káwọn Roman yẹn náà tó ṣe kí ni wọn borí wọn nígbàgbọ́ ń bẹ̀ lẹ́tọ́ bá náà bá sọ fún wa pé iná bá ayá lọ́sẹ̀rẹ̀ ìlú sọ̀rọ̀ àbúrò nígbàgbọ́ ń bẹ̀ ó bá sì gbìlẹ̀ kó le tó dáadáa sí padà bọ̀ àbí wọn ní ká sálẹ̀ yìí ká máa ń jẹ́ àtàwù sálẹ̀ wà á ń tà káyì lọ àásìnà ìdásí ìtàsálẹ̀ ẹ̀rí nígbàgbọ́ lọ́wọ́ bó sì gbìlẹ̀ kí nàìjíríà ò le tó láì ní sí rẹ́sì wọn ta kò tán méjì àkùnrin ìdòkúta àbí àwọn nígbàgbọ́ náà mọ̀ ní èròǹgbà dáadáa sọ́nà ọ̀gá ilé náà tó jẹ́ kí ni ó jẹ́ ìdá ikọ̀ ààrùn nínú Suratul Tọ́lá wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ní wa man yattaqillah yaj'al lahu makhraja wa yarzuqhu min haythu la yahtasib wàlá ìṣẹ́ yára yẹ wọ́ṣùwọ̀n mi tó wà sí ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́run sọ pé nǹkan kan ní ọlọ́run ní kí ni ó ṣe tọ́lọ́ tó fi ṣe kí ọlọ́run wá ní kí n ṣe kí n sápayọ̀ ọlọ́run ọba ní pé kí ni òun tí ọ̀tá bá yọ ó òun sì pèsè fún mi lọ́nà tí kí ni o kí ni ronú sí wọ́n fẹ́ nìkan lónìí pé mo kà ronú pé kò mọ̀ tí ẹ̀ sí nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́ mi gbogbo ẹ̀ sáà ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ bọ́kàn bọ́ aláàtì mi mi ní sọ yẹ tó dún ẹni ẹ̀ka tó ní pé òun kàn wò yí pé tó bá ní kó ń sọ fún mi mo lè lọ pé mi ò fẹ́ òun kàn fẹ́ surprise mi láti jù sílẹ̀ ìdúrà kékeré sọ owó tí mo ti kù ní o bẹ́ẹ̀.
ولا حزن يدوم ولا سرور ولا بؤس يدوم ولا سرور.
náà ó yà ní pé ẹ máa jẹ́ ká máa ní òun gbàdàgbà sọ́nà jẹ́jẹ́jẹ́ kí ọkàn wa ká máa ní sọ́nà màmá mi máa kòwé kan màmá mi pé tọ̀sán-tọ̀sán ló máa ń pẹ́ ìkàlẹ̀ lójú tó bá dojú alẹ́ máa ń dolo jẹ tí a ní ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn náà mo máa ń sọ fún àwọn ẹ̀ tọ̀sán-tọ̀sán ló máa ń pẹ́ ìkàlẹ̀ lójú tó bá dojú alẹ́ máa ń dolo jẹ ẹ̀rọ ẹ̀pẹ̀ ní ìkàlẹ̀ these are the ants àwọn kòkòrò tó wà nínú oko nínú àwọn àgbà tó wà lóko yìí nítorí wípé ilẹ̀ ilẹ̀ ló máa ń wà àwọn ẹ̀dẹ̀ máa ń tẹ́rí sílẹ̀ ní tó bá ti bá tẹ́rí sílẹ̀ lálẹ́ àwọn kòkòrò yẹn kalẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n máa ń mú èdè àwọn tó bá ti sùn sílẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ bá ti lọ́sàn-án kò sẹ́ni tó sùn kí àwọn kòkòrò yẹn wò ní ló jẹjẹ wọ́n ní pé tọ̀sán-tọ̀sán ló máa ń pọ́n ìkàlẹ̀ lójú tó bá dojú alẹ́ kọ́ ìmọ̀ ẹ̀dùn ló jẹ sẹ́kẹ̀tẹ̀ bó ti wulẹ̀ kó o nísìnyí pé òun sọ́ọ̀bù òun ṣe léyìí rẹ̀ wà láyé padà bọ̀ wá dá tọ́lá bá tẹ̀lé sílẹ̀kùn yẹn báyìí ọlọ́run kì í palẹ̀kùn yẹn dé mọ́ ìkànnì àwọn student mi ọmọ ìdílé ní kí wọ́n sún nìkan bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́lí ó rí admission lọ́nà mẹ́rin ìbọn àwọn ilé ìgbẹ́ tí ó mú bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn àlọ́ ní kọ̀ọ̀dà àwọn oníkì inú ìlú kó wúlé tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ bá pọ̀ tó lè dá wà láyé nísìnyí ẹni tẹ́ pé kò ń kú lówó tó ara ẹni tí wọ́n á gbìyànjú náà lówó nísìnyí látara bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ẹjẹ́ ká ní èròǹgbà dáadáa sí kíní o sọ̀rọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn mùsùlùmí ṣe ní kíní o pẹ̀lú Yorùbá I know that you understand Yorùbá because I'm just trying to meet you if you don't understand Yorùbá please raise up your hand okay please do you understand what I said earlier like tọ̀sán-tọ̀sán lọ́wọ́ kalẹ̀ lójú I can translate it to tó wà lọ́jọ́ adé máa ń dàbí ní please if you don't understand that you can see me later for the annual for the please on a serious note please do you have anyone that doesn't understand it because I just choose to do Yoruba okay I am in that please I can do both together conveniently but I just want us to understand it properly because sometimes when you use your local language now someone sink dada but I been kept going Yoruba you every other country is time anyway I was asking for but I said that Asalamu what is the meaning Yoruba Iganda Adunna asa don't prevent asa something that you use to defend when you are fighting I want you to defend keep here we don't be Dunna asa don't be Yoruba asa kese asa o kese asa o asa don't be Yoruba and that's why that Baba when he was Ariana asa le Yoruba ileba Ariana asa ileba the one that protects the dignity of Ibadan ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yóò gbọ́ Yorùbá wa àlùmọ́ Yorùbá lẹ̀ sọ ẹ̀kọ́ Yorùbá now what are we saying is that ẹ jẹ́ ká ní èrò dáadáa sọ́lọ̀ ọ̀lọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ní èrò dáadáa sọ́lọ̀ bí gbogbo ẹsẹ̀ ilé ní ìsìn àwọn sára tó ti wọ́ lọ́rùn wọ́n tó ń pèsè nígbà tó pọ̀ pèsè fún wa nígbà tó wọ́n àkúnjẹ kí ni ká ní òkúta bí rẹ̀sì ẹ̀ padà bí 100,000 naira pa kí ni o á jẹun náà bóyá ẹ ṣe ìrànlẹ́ ìjẹ́ lóògbé àná ẹ kí ẹ ṣe sọ́nù láìsí náà á jẹ símẹ́ǹtì wọn ló ń wà ní àbí tọ́mátì kò Dangote wọlé wọ́n gbé mt truck jáde kí mo ló ń wọ̀ àwọn èèyàn fi kí ni wọ́n yẹ ọ̀rọ̀ náà ni wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ náà tiẹ̀ wọ́n lọ́hùn bó ti wulẹ̀ fún Nàìjíríà orí májèkó lè lọ́ọ́ níbẹ̀ àbí wọ́n sọ tiẹ̀ wọ́n ti wulẹ̀ kórí májè kó lè mọ́ mi ń bẹ̀ wọ́ lọ́wọ́ májè kó lè mọ́ èmi májè kí mi ó mọ òṣì májè kí n mọ ní tèmi bẹ́ẹ̀ náà tiẹ̀ láti ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká ní òrùba dáadáa sọ́nà pé nínú àádá ń ṣe ìlú sọ̀rọ̀ abúlé rà lórí ọ̀dàpá yìí wọ́n ní nígbà tí àwọn àlùmọ̀dé náà èyí máa ń pa òun balẹ̀ tó ń wà lulẹ̀ àwọn olóògùn náà ní epilepsy nígbà tó bá bẹ̀sẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọ́n àwọn bẹ̀sẹ̀ jẹun orí òun wọ́n àwọn bẹ̀sẹ̀ gbá orí òun gbẹ̀gbọ́n sọ́dọ̀ orí òun yẹ ẹ̀sìn tó ti gbá kí ni o ebi olùwàtò àwọn ayé àpò àwọn àdé gọ́ọ̀nà bá sọ wọ́n wá máa ń fi white handkerchief wọ́n máa fi ń lo ojú a sign of what affluence olùwàtò wọn sọ pé òun ọlọ́run ṣé kìí ṣe gbogbo orí àdéhùn ló fẹ́ fún láyé rẹ̀ ní alẹ́ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ní pé ìnà bá àyà ń ṣeré ní sọ̀rọ̀ ẹbí ń so orí ẹni wọ́n padà máa di kí ni o wọ́n wá kọ́ ilé wa pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n wà ní gbòòrò ilé yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹbí ìbọn class everything ṣùgbọ́n orí ẹni ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ orí ẹni nígbà yẹn ìnà bá àyà ń ṣeré ní sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹtí òwò ra smoke kẹ̀kẹ́ smoke kẹ̀kẹ́ ọwọ́ àtẹ̀lé tó ń di kíni o tó ń lo kíni o ìyẹn bá ń dàrú sí yóò sọ̀rọ̀ káàkiri ní kíni o ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká ní ìrúgbà dáadáa sí kíni o lọ́nà àti ọlọ́run bá ní o àti gbàgbé ẹrú sí níbẹ̀ yẹn náà eléyìí nǹkan pàtàkì ẹlòmí wà tó jẹ́ pé tó bá wù ẹ́ tó níbẹ̀ yẹn ayé òun ká ti gbàgbé tó ẹ̀rọ ló máa gbé ó ti wúra rẹ̀ pé ilé ayé òun yìí lọ́wọ́ àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ tó ń dá tó ń já sí bàjẹ́ tó tí ẹ sì wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ àgọ́ àlọ́ ìgbà tó kọjá lónìí ọkọ̀ rèé yóò ti jájá lórí àjẹ́jù ń lè ta lé láyé kí ló dé má tọrọ ọrú ẹ̀ ebi tọrọ nǹkan orí tẹlifí o wọ́n lọ sí dáadáa fún mi torí pé 505 ni best nígbà yẹ o nígbà kan 505 bíjọ 505 wo nígbà yẹ I'm talking about the late I mean early 90s ní àná bíi 1991 92 ní àná wo nígbà yẹ kó a lọ lo kíní bẹ̀rẹ̀ náà 505 ní ìsìn kan dábìí yẹn ló ń tọrọ olóògbé ṣe kàkíyèsí àbí ẹ̀yẹ́ ó tọrọ yẹ ibẹ̀ tọrọ nǹkan dáadáa lọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́wọ́ bá àwọn ìwọ́n tó wọ̀n dáadáa wọ́n gbé àyàfi kind of a concert ọlọ́run sí dáadáa fún ọlọ́run sí dáadáa fún ọlọ́ba ló mú dáadáa yẹ lọ́dọ̀ alóòrùn ẹ̀sọ̀ fún ẹgbẹ́ nínú sọ́tò ká kẹsì wọ́n fẹ́ bèèrè kìíní kan wọ́n mú wọ́n fún ọkọ̀ àwọn ẹlòmíì bí èrò rẹ̀ ti ọlọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́run bá ẹ̀dá sáré kẹsì kan tó wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn ẹ̀ bí èrò rẹ̀ ti ọlọ́run bá lè ṣe káàdì kí ni o ó ṣe káàdì ṣe pọ̀ má bu ìdẹ̀nu nìkan owó lè ní ìgbà pé akíṣìn yóò dé ní ti ilé náà ó ṣe pọ̀ ibẹ̀ yẹn náà ìgbà bá dà ó sí ní ìparí ó náà ní pé ní bọ́lọ̀ bá ti ṣe àwọn ẹni tí ò ní gbàgbọ́ kedere bí aburú bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa inú wọn mọ̀ ọ́ àbí bí ayé bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa inú wọn mọ̀ bàjẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ọlọ́sọ̀ nínú Suratul Al-Imran yes Al-Imran in tamassakum hasanatun tasukum wa in tusibukum yafrahu biha wa in tusbiru wa tattaqu la yadurukum kaydahum shay'an inna Allaha bima ya'maluna muhit ọlọ́pàá ní pé tí ẹ ní ẹ̀rí nígbà tó dòdò nígbà tí dáadáa bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí yọ́lá ọ̀pọ̀ inú jẹ́ ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí ẹ̀ tó délẹ̀ nìkan ẹ̀wà ìgbé mú ọba rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tí a tún bá ṣẹlẹ̀ fún abá ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú wọn àwọn òkúrò sí mẹ́rin tiwa yàpọ̀ ẹ̀mọ́jẹ̀ká wulẹ̀ bá ló jẹ́ wọ́n lọ sọ wípé bí àwọn bá fi ṣẹlẹ̀ bí a ní sí àwọn èèyàn lọ fún program ọlọ́run ló jẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa yàrá sùn máa lọ program accident wá ṣẹlẹ̀ dàkílẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àwọn alùmíràn ní bí 2 years ago lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọ́n lọ sí program tí wọ́n ní accident arẹ́tì àwọn alùmíràn tí wọ́n ní accident is it last year 2 years ago tí wọ́n ní accident lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn kú ìmọ̀tò ẹgbẹ́ lọ́gàn ni o àwọn ẹgbẹ́ lọ́gàn rẹ̀ kí wọ́n wá káàkiri ẹ̀yìn kanúkan òun náà nìkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ mọ́ta látara bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wípé ìpàkọ́ ẹni kì í gbọ́ kí ni o kì í gbọ́ sùn wọ́n sábà ṣe dáadáa tiẹ̀ kàtà ọ̀bá bá mú wá ẹ̀kọ́ náà bá wọ́n àṣẹ ìdíwọ́ sí ìlú yẹn abẹ́lẹ́ ọ̀bá náà lọ rẹ̀ ìta wíì tí wọ́n máa ń gbà rẹ̀ kí wọ́n ṣe bàbá ẹgbẹ́ àfúrà they are going to explain to us the explanation, reflection, I don't want to say explanation, reflections on the Suratul Rum, verse 1 to 5. And we have been able to inform us that there are certain reflections that we can actually derive and dwell upon from these verses. And I believe that we will be able to take some things home. And I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make beneficial to us here in this world and hereafter. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
Let's say our Father. He has really done justice to this ayat. Now, inshallah, we go to the question and answer section. So, if you have questions, try to raise up. So, inshallah. So, the first question.
Assalamu alaykum warahmatullah. My question is that, like, the way we relate to the Muslim. Let's say you have a Muslim brother that is having a Muslim brother or a Muslim sister who happens to have a Christian as their best friend. How can they relate to this?
Yeah, inside church.
Yes. And then this is Christian decided to pray. What is the best difference? Like really pray because
Please come again.
Okay, then
Third question, please.
Yes, sir.
Today, when I was in lecture, without using now, today when I was in lecture, the student was praying, like he said, almost our so I couldn't say that I just
what does she have when you know?
So I just started to shout. So one of my brothers, I said, please so and so also asked who are the pagans? He said,
Who are the
pagans. And, I also heard that the Bible was written like 300 plus years after like is it valid?
what?
Like the Bible was written 200 years plus.
Was revealed
200 years plus. After what?
Assalamu alaikum. Please, if we are still interested in asking questions, you can still see the file. So there is time for you to ask your question. And likewise, I noticed that we did not give our sister the opportunity to ask questions. If you want to use the mic, you can request for it. And if you have your question, you can write it on your paper and send it forward. So you have your opportunity for that. So if any brother still have any question, I think I see it very just need two. So we don't know the number. Okay, one, two. So that was it.
Now, question would be, think about it, so think about in the toilet, when you walk with Quran, ọkùnrin wọn ń kà lọ lórí kọ̀ǹtù ara ìwọ̀n kásìtà ọ̀pọ̀ ọkùnrin ń kà lọ ṣé kò sí láì níbi àníyé.
Assalamu alaykum warahmatullah wabarokaatuh. My question is that I have a Jewish friend. So is it okay if I ask him for financial assistance? Jewish friend. Jewish.
So those are like Allah guidance. That is what are they doing? Maybe it's easy that Allah just say that maybe what are they doing that they have such
He said, if Allah wants to guide someone, Allah will guide the person. But those that Allah guide, what have they done to deserve the guidance? Now, the first question here is that Christian, having a Christian as a best friend, what's Islamic view on it?
We need to understand what we mean by friend in Islam. We need to understand the concept of friend and love in Islam. For some of you, if you have listened to some of my khutbah on the concept of love in Islam, now, you will love non-Muslims? No. In the real concept of what we mean by love, because love follows with what? With ittiba. Kul in tuhibbuna Allah fattabi'uni. If truly you love Allah, you should follow me. That's what Tafsir says. Therefore, if you love someone, then you will follow that person. You do what that person is doing. Therefore, if you love Christian, you will follow his what? His path, his way. So yeah, that is the love in Islam. And that is why that you cannot take Christian as your what? The honor, your bosom friend, your friend, that you have a total love for. Because in Islam, love and love is part of what? It's an act of worship. You cannot actually give it to what Allah doesn't like. So you are. Therefore, Christian or non-Muslims can never be your returner, can never be your best friend in that context. You understand? But what we refer to as love, general love, only you give him food. It's just what? Kindness. You hate the action. You hate that food in him. And that's why you don't do it. But the personality of Christian, you don't want what? You don't hate. Mind what I mean by hate said. It's not in the concept of what? Of Islam. You understand? If you understand that love in the context, the opposite is hatred. You understand? And the hope and not the. But in this case, hatred is the that beside Asalamu will not go and borrow money from what? From Jew. To the extent that they use his words. He used his quotes as what? As collateral. Check it once you right now. Based on what? On that ayah, la yanhakumullahu anil ladina lam yuqatilukum, which means that the kind of relationship with it depends on the way you relate with you. Ṣùgbọ́n o so fẹ́ ẹ̀tọ́ sọ fún ọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ ní yàrá rẹ̀ o lọ sọ fún. So bó ti become the honor yẹn, ó ti di kò not non-Muslims. Even not just ordinary Muslims, it must be somebody that shares your words, your belief, your aqidah. Therefore, you must have a graph whereby you define your relationship and acquaintance with everybody. Ẹlẹ́nu wà tẹ́lẹ̀ pé Asalamu, alaykum, wabarokaatuh. Ẹlẹ́nu ló lè dìbà yẹn. You see, therefore, the issue of ẹ̀sìn mo lè mú Christian ní ẹ̀mẹ́ best friend. It doesn't do that. Only be there 2 months because it will be enough. You understand? It will be enough. I hope you understand what I'm saying. This concept, people are missing it at all. Definitely, not like what they say. If you don't play as well, there are but is it your bosom friend? No. Do you hate him? You hate actions, then not his personality. But in terms of the opposite of love as defined by Islam, yes. So you want. But like a Quran, hates, because there is no any other way for you to translate it than all this love, hate, this and that. But it's quite different from what Islam means like that. A scholar wrote a book, and I bought it when I went for December. We call it What is the real love? In fact, the book is very, very nice. The person is one of the professors at Yamatu Islamia. He wrote the book, and I bought it. Now, we need to, I try to emphasize on that for us to understand that concept very well. Like that. Now, you are in the university. You believe that you don't discuss me. This is a recurrent problem. Sometimes I look at it that what is the best approach to it? Sometimes I just see that silence sometimes. That can be the silence. The approach to it. But some people may want to play a kind of a very something with him. I remember I was coming from traveling, and somebody spotted a Christian. That the Christian was just a general to start all these prayer. The brother just said, "So you are not going to be Ọlọ́run ṣàánú wa bá ṣe ń lọ yìí wọ́n ti gbọ́dọ̀ mú àwọn bí ká mẹ́ta bá ṣe ń lọ ní fún ọjọ́ ká ní kan iná àdéhùn mẹ́rin he continue like that oníkan níta ẹgbẹ́ ká mẹ́ta bá ṣe ń lọ yìí ọlọ́run kò sí owó fún wa dáadáa dídá bí mẹ́rin ìyá lọ. Later on, I told you, oh, very much the only that song. So, we only for every anybody to get over the woman and we live right. Only when they come to the castle, even now, because almost 1 hour. Only talking to go. Because it was they want to use a kind of one we call it a kind of force attack, something like that. But sometimes I just look at it that it's just a kind of wasting of time sometimes. Therefore, it is something that they are not supposed to do, but they are seeing it as part of their way of preaching. And I was just looking at it like this. He stretched the hand and he could not bring it back again. He has that audacity to do that. Not that alone. In my area there at the West School, small kids like that, they want to do a kind of ul-Qur'an or whatever, and they were distributing something. That small boy again came to them. Jesus love you, sir. Take. I said, I love you better than Jesus Christ. Now, therefore, we don't preach our religion. The question is that sometimes even when you live with your roommate, a Muslim, when you want to go and pray, warahmatullah, you don't know pray. I think you're going to see. Come and pray. Get out of you. Well, we don't want to do that. If you live in the classroom and you don't come down you, and don't come in there. Okay, you're king, right? Why are you holding something? You can't kill. We don't preach our religion. We don't tell you. It's only Allah that propagates the religion of Allah. We don't do it. In your streets, there are many people there that are not praying. Have you ever taken a day? Give me a salary. Kill a wash of my way. You will not ask. So they preach our teaching we did it in Sweden. When I got to Sweden in 2008, I met some brother from Pakistan. So it's a big way out from issues here and there, but I just joined them. I said, okay, no problem. They now start to do it down like that. And they once decided, they made me their meal or whatever, at least I can still speak from one Arabic or whatever. Therefore, I have to read the one that we talk, and then when they want to do the inspiration or the news or whatever, then I will really want to read the dance on me and explain. And that's how I became the Imam like that. But I can boldly say today that I can identify one or two or three persons that through that effort they became good Muslims, and one became Muslims among the Swedish. Because we used to go to, and we go there, we look at the law. If they don't read like Muslim, we know. If it's not Muslim, we don't know. If you love to do what, you get that. Assalamu alaikum. We have the mosque there. Do you know about mosque? Inshallah, come and join us in the mosque. That's all. We go to another something like that. That's little effort. Wallahi, Allah bless it. When the brother, when he left, I was so busy with some other things, with activities of the Muslim community, being the Imam here and there. I don't have time. My child says that they want to do that, and he went to the supermarket to do something. He did that one for a day. Nobody collected the pamphlet. He was so frustrated that our books. I don't think I was able to do it. I said you can continue. Therefore, we should try to do that. If not, they will come and tell you now. Because you don't explain us. Number 3.
Yeah, the next question. Who are the pagans?
Who are the pagans? Pagans is just the people that they are polytheists. Those that are not part of the revealed religion. Not Muslims, they are not Christians, they are not Jews. They call them pagans, the polytheists. The Bible, what we have today is not what was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Bible that we have today is a conglomeration of many books written by authors known and unknown. You understand? Authors known and unknown. But there are some figments of words here and there that Allah revealed that you can still find impact within these books. Therefore, that means that the Bible was revealed like Quran within a period of 23 years. Then it is not like Bible. The Bible is just a compilation of the books. For example, the major part of the New Testament was written by Paul, who never saw Jesus Christ. And he came with what? He came with some of the his own philosophical thinking and whatever he put it there, and it becomes and that is not what? That is not a revelation from Allah. You cannot reveal that one unless that one is Injil. You understand? Therefore, the revelation of Bible does not actually maybe we don't have such things. But we have the Tawrat, we have Injil, but not what we have today. No.
Yeah, the next question. From reciting the Quran subconsciously in the toilet, in order to do, is it what's the
we cannot control what comes to our mind and reflect actions, but we can control what we dwell in, and that is why that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so magnanimous that it's not going to take us into account with what we think, except what we put in actions or we say it out. Therefore, it happens if you are memorizing some ayah. When you are in the toilet, you will just be remembering it, come back to your head. It is just natural like that. Once you become conscious, you switch it off like that because you are in the toilet. Instead of now verbalizing it, bringing it out like that. It's the same. If you are the type that are listening to all these shaku, this and that, when you start something, it comes back into your memory, just start to think about it. Before you know it,
can one underline verses in the Quran to indicate, and can one use pencil to indicate where one stops and where one starts?
You can do it, but make sure that you don't deface the Quran. So our salaf, they used to have something like they make notes in their books, and they combine those notes together to make all these vaccines that they have.
As a Muslim, can I ask assistance from my Jewish brother?
Can you ask for assistance from
my friend who is a Jew?
From a Jew, you can ask for assistance. You can ask for assistance. But like I said, also borrow money from a Jew. You can ask assistance. But make sure that that assistance will not turn against you. You understand? It will not turn against you. In that case, make sure that you can get that one from Muslims If not, then you cannot ask for those that are not Muslims. And make sure that it is not something that will be used against you. Because sometimes it can come with debate.
Those are guided by Allah. What are they done to deserve His guidance?
Those that are guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what have they done? What have they done to the what?
To deserve the guidance.
To deserve the guidance now. Now, it is because of the actions now. It is because of the what? Action. In the Suratul Rum, Allah says that whenever you see anybody that is being guided, look at their precedents. They must have actually made efforts to be guided. It is the efforts that Allah now
Now, what can a person do if the person experiences swing in faith every time, like the person's mind doubts the existence of Allah and His signs?
Now, this is what we call a was. You see, when you have a kind of some whispering of shaitan, one thing you need to do is that you have to say, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim, a'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim, a'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim." You continue saying this one to ward away shaitan. But if you realize that you keep on